Hi there, welcome to my YouTube channel. A lot of friends recently have been buying monitors, I don't know why, but I found myself explaining quite often the specs and features of the LG 5K2K monitor. To be more precise, the LG 34WK95U 5K2K monitor. And I decided to record this video just so I can send it out to friends and of course if it helps anyone on the market, because I couldn't find a lot of reviews on this monitor, and honestly I really love it, and you learn soon why. So first, let's start with the specs of the monitor. It's 34-inch nano IPS, ultra wide, 60 Hz monitor. It supports every type of port you basically need for a monitor. It has a Thunderbolt 3 port, it has 2 display ports, 1 HDMI, 2 USBs. The resolution is 5120 by 2160, which is not exactly 5K, but it's larger than 4K and what usually ultra wide monitors have. So that's why it has the 5K 2K monitor. I actually already explained what's the difference in the resolutions in my editing station build video. If you haven't seen it, pop-up is going to appear right now, but just in case, here is a graph explaining what's the difference and what's so special about this resolution, which is marketed as 21 by 9. It's not exactly 21 by 9, but it's close to that, and it's easy to market the monitor like that instead of having those huge hundreds and thousands in the ratio. Some other specs of the monitor: it does have a 5 millisecond response time, it has HDR 600, and it also has 98% coverage of the DCI-P3 color space. Let's move on to the design. The design is honestly quite stylish for a monitor. The stand is gray. It does have a cable holder in the back, which helps hide some of the cables, although I haven't done a perfect job hiding the cables because I do have some stuff connected on the USB port and also the Thunderbolt I use for my laptop, so those are coming out anyways from the monitor. The style is quite clean, and to be honest, even if you have only this monitor on your desk, it's going to look really nice. The bezels are a bit interesting though. The lower bezel is a little bit wider than the ones on the side and on the top, but I don't think that they're that big, although from today's standards they are a little bit big. But actually, you know what, I'm gonna grab a ruler here because I couldn't find any information on how big they are. So the bottom one is 1 centimeter and 4 millimeters, and the other ones are, just a second, 8 millimeters. So it's not that big. Moving on to the features, and oh boy does this monitor come with a ton of features. One of the things I love the most is that you can actually split the screen and have 2 PCs connected at the same time. And if you have something like my Logitech MX mouse and the Logitech Craft keyboard, you can easily switch between computers. And with the mouse, actually, if you have the Logitech external software, you can directly just swipe from one computer and go to the next one. This is really amazing because I have a working laptop and my personal PC, and it's always cool for multitasking to have both running at the same time. In general, the screen split situation is insane, even if you have just one monitor. I'm actually going to jump in now on my monitor so I can show you, because you can control that from this cute software over here, where it just displays the type of splitting you can have. So a typical split I use is this one. So for example, I would like to open Photoshop. You just drag and drop and it resizes automatically. I would like to have an Explorer window over here, and for example, some YouTube videos playing in the background. So this is my usual working setup. Here I can browse through my photos and open them in Photoshop to edit. By the way, if you haven't done it yet, consider subscribing. here, Martin Ivanov, click the subscribe button. Doesn't hurt, doesn't cost you anything, but it definitely helps me to continue making these videos. What you can also do once you once you have this split window, the cool thing is it's not fixed. So if I need a little bit more space with with my Photoshop, for example, I just need to drag it. Not always working perfectly, but it resizes usually this part as well. So if I don't need as much space and I want to see better my YouTube videos or Netflix or whatever I'm watching, I can just drag this back here and it resizes it automatically. I can also select this one, for example, and just drag it like that, and it resizes like that. Another thing you can do is just select different types of splits and it automatically aligns. You can even go up to 6 windows if you are able to work with such small windows. But for me, it's either this configuration or this one, where I have my photos here, and when I need a bit more space with Photoshop over here. Some other things you can do from the on-screen control. This is actually, the on-screen control is actually really cool because you don't have to always go through the settings on the monitor manually with a built-in monitor menu. So you can always come here, select your brightness, contrast. You can always as well select different types of picture modes. It has sRGB, Adobe sRGB. It has a Rec 709. This is amazing for photography, for video editing. It has a reader mode, HDR effect. You can see all the basic ones. You can also have calibration 1 and calibration 2. The monitor does come with an additional software for calibrating. You just need the hardware to be attached and you can calibrate your monitor, but I can tell you that the sRGB one is pretty accurate in terms of color, directly straight out of the box. So if you don't have access to a calibrator hardware, you can go with the sRGB when editing photos, or Rec 709 if you're recording in this format videos. You can always check for updates of your software, of the monitor. I did have some issues at the beginning with the monitor because it wasn't updated. It did not support sRGB over DisplayPort, so I needed to update the software of the monitor, and then everything was fine. You can also have different picture modes for the different software. So for example, let's say you want Photoshop. I've assigned directly sRGB to Photoshop. I can assign some, let me just turn it on. For if I'm watching, for example, I don't know, I'm watching a movie on Windows Movie Player, which is, let's face it, not going to happen. Let's assume that I'm going to watch a movie on Windows Movie Player. I can come here and directly select cinema mode, for example, and this will switch directly automatically as soon as you open the application on full screen. Another cool feature is that it supports USB upstream both through Thunderbolt as well as with an additional cable if you're using a DisplayPort, because not a lot of GPUs for PCs have Thunderbolt. So I think only the new AMD ones have those. So you need the additional cable, and this makes things a lot easier because then you can use the 2 USBs behind. For example, I have a USB cable coming out from the monitor, which I use either for charging my headphones or as a quick connection to my PC when I need to just quickly connect something. I did watch Linus Tech Tips review of this monitor, and Linus did mention that there were a lot of issues with different graphic cards and so on, but personally I couldn't find any issues. I guess the review was a bit old. I think it's more than a year old. I've used my laptop with an integrated GPU. That's nothing special, and it's working fine at this resolution. I'm using my PC as well. It's working fine. So yeah. Okay, so now that we've covered all the cool stuff that this monitor comes with, I want to share with you as well as what I didn't like. What I didn't like is when you have 2 PCs connected in split screen mode. It doesn't support DisplayPort and Thunderbolt together. One of the PCs must always come with HDMI. I'm not sure if that's a software issue from the monitor or it's meant to be like that. I'm not sure, but this is how it works. And I do have an extra HDMI cable connected to my PC. So whenever I need to run the PC and the laptop together, I use the HDMI cable. It's pretty straightforward to select the two inputs you want, even though I have both DisplayPort and HDMI connected. Another thing I don't like is that USB upstream is only supported through one cable at a time. So if I'm using the additional cable with the DisplayPort, I can select only that. So it's upstreaming only to my PC, and I cannot get any connection with my laptop over the Thunderbolt or vice versa. Another thing that, I mean, it might be an issue for you is the fact that it's 60 Hertz. It's technically not a gaming monitor, but you can still game. I've mentioned this in my other video as well. I usually game on my TV on my PlayStation, so I'm pretty used to gaming at 60 Hertz. Also on the PC, I do play a lot of strategy games, which I don't think require more than 60 Hertz, to be honest. Okay, so to end this video, let's talk about who is this monitor for and why you should get it. So first of all, I would definitely recommend this monitor for video editing. It's really amazing when you stretch the timeline across the entire screen. I would recommend it for photo editing. The sharpness of the 5K 2K resolution is amazing. You can see a lot of details. The color accuracy is amazing as well. So you won't have a lot of problems in terms of grading your photos as well as your video footage. One thing you might see is that if you're using a lower megapixel camera, you might be used to from lower resolution monitors to zoom in a lot, and here it won't be possible because I mean, you won't actually need it, because if you have the photo or video on full screen, it's going to be quite big. One other thing is, because I'm using my work laptop with this monitor as well, is that Excel work is amazing. When you have huge Excel sheets that you need to work with, it's amazing to have such a widescreen and high-res monitor. Although I do upscale the monitor, but it's actually directly recommended by Windows that I should upscale to 150% everything, so it's easily readable. And I can say that it's readable as well at 100%, but it's going to get you tired really fast, so 150 is quite okay. Another type of people that might benefit from this monitor, if you want to use multiple screens but they are different shape, so you don't want to have two smaller monitors where basically they limit your shape. As I already demonstrated, you can quickly readjust the size of windows. So for example, if I need one of the windows to be 2/3 of the screen, it's 2/3 of the screen, and I don't have a freaking bezel in the middle just cutting off some stuff and making things hard to read or see. This is definitely not for competitive gamers or really big enthusiast gamers, so just forget about it. It's just if you want to game on this monitor, it's just going to be recreational after work or something like that. As I already said, I do game quite a lot on it and I'm pretty satisfied with it. So why should you buy this monitor? I know it's quite expensive. Actually, the price right now in Germany, it's between 900 and 1,200 euros. I got mine for around 1,100 euros. But another point here is this is a quite unique monitor. I couldn't find anything from the top brands that was in this range for this amount of money. I did find some gaming monitors with super high refresh rates, but they had a smaller resolution and they didn't have such good color accuracy as this one, and I really wanted a widescreen. So you definitely get something that's top and first on the market in its category, and you won't be disappointed. I can guarantee you that. If you're interested in ordering such a monitor, I will leave some links down below from Amazon. I will leave affiliate links so you know how this works. If you're going to buy it, this will help the channel as well, so thank you if you use those links. And yeah, this is pretty much the video for today. Hope it was informative, and good luck with your monitoring shopping. If you enjoyed this video, leave a thumbs up, consider subscribing as I already told you, and see you on my other video, guys. Bye.